4 weeks ago, Sun News Network broke a story about a Brampton-based imam who believes in stoning sinners. Here's a bit of that clip.
Yeah, some shocking news coming out of Ontario today, Pat. We are learning of a Brampton, Ontario, so this is happening here in Canada, sheikh, who is also serving as the president of the Islamic Forum of Canada, has come forward with some shocking words. He also serves as the vice president for the Islamic Council of Imams in Canada, and now he's justifying the stoning of sinners to death. Now, the sheikh says that sinners actually benefit from this capital punishment as their soul is being purified by this very act.
Let me make a painfully obvious point. Did you notice the silence from our cast of wonderful Canadian watchdogs in the national media? Did CTV air the story? Global? Did the Globe and Mail run it on the front page? Surely the CBC. No? Only Sun News and only Brian Lilley? Reassuring, isn't it? To know that our national media is looking out for our own best interests, keeping us informed on important social and political matters. And we know they are, is on the same day the shocking story about Sheikh Farzal Hamed Abdulrazak broke, the stone-throwing imam, the CBC was abuzz about Justin Trudeau's pot-smoking admission. And the Globe and Mail, Canada's bastion of politically insightful news, reported that a lady living in Timmins was the most perfect woman in her 30s. But not a word, nada, about the stone-throwing sheikh. Is it possible that our national media is purposely covering up for Islam? Remember the scandal surrounding Gwen Landal's so-called inappropriate comments about Uganda's laws prohibiting gay marriage and the criminalization of homosexuality a few weeks back? Well, for those of you who don't know, Gwen Landal is the former head of Real Women. She was harangued in a media firestorm for purportedly offensive comments she made about Foreign Affairs Minister John Baird, who happens to be gay. Ms. Landal was upset that Minister Baird was using his position as a minister to promote a gay agenda to other nations. Here's a quote from her. "The issue is really, why is he interfering in a sovereign country's legislation? He really has no business to do that. I don't want other countries to get what we have here, where people's religious values and traditional values are being pushed aside, given homosexual priority." Well, see, that bit of offhanded bluster earned her front page coverage in most, if not all, Canada's national news outlets. And it also came with a string of condemnations. Here's a couple of quotes. Quote, "The recent meltdown by anti-feminist social conservative founder of Real Women, Gwen Landal, may have been surprising to journalists, but for me, it was par for the course." End quote. That's from Vancouver Sun's Terry O'Neill. Quote, "With friends like Real Women, does social conservatism need enemies?" End quote. Maclean's Colby Kosh. Even queer activists spoke up. Quote, "Gwen Landal's devil-may-care attitude is far from unique among Canadian far-right." That's from blogger Mercedes Allen. So what's the glaringly obvious point? Our national media are anti-conservative bigots, plain and simple. And their bigotry is so intense that it completely dictates what stories get covered and how they're covered. I mean, how else do we explain their blatant hypocrisy in bemoaning Miss Landal's relatively mild comments, but saying nary a word about an Ontario-based imam who considers stoning homosexuals a pious deed? I'm Tristan Emanuel, and I make no apologies.